Water bottle. Start in, huh? So hello everyone. So welcome to ACE Engineering Academy as well as ACE Online. So ACE Engineering Academy going to learn about SSC CGL soon, and we are discussing here about SSC CGL paper analysis of the particularly geography subject. Geography. So what is the weightage is there for the geography out of the 25 questions, which consisting of the 25 questions out of 100 marks of the Tier 1 examination. So right. If you take the word GS, that is a particularly SSC CGL Tier 1 examination. So we are having the 100 questions. 100 questions, 200 marks. Out of the 100 questions, everyone knows that 25 questions are from the general studies. That is particularly consisting of the all subjects. That is including geography, physics, chemistry, biology, and polity, everything. So all the general studies together will have 25 questions and the 50 marks. But here don't forget that SSC students will always forget one thing, that so one question carries the 2 marks. That is the important here that. So even the questions are very less, but the marks are very high. Even one question carries the 2 marks, that will be very difficult to get the marks. If you are leaving the one question and then you are going to lose the 2 marks. So it is very difficult to get the marks because the syllabus is also very vast. So that's why we need to focus on the smart preparation process. What are the topics to be selected for the examinations? We need to select in clear way. Right. Before going into the selection of the topics, which topics to be to read in the geography subject, and now we need to discuss the what is the paper analysis of the very latest 2021 trend geography, particularly geography. So if you analyze the 2021, so that is the examination was held on the 13th of the August, and as well as 16th and 17th and 18th and the 28th August of the 2021. And the examination was held in our 3 shifts: shift 1, shift 2, shift 3, and they are conducted in the 3 shifts. Okay. Now in the shift 1, if you observe the shift 1, what is the number of the questions they are given in the shift 1? So that is the 13th, on the 13th August in the shift 1, that is the morning shift, there are 3 questions are there. But 3 questions here, but you need to remember that these are the 6 marks. 3 questions. So again I am repeating, SSC student who are preparing for the SSC CGL as well as CHSL, and the number of marks are very high, the questions are very low because each question carries the 2 marks. That is a very important, you need to concentrate here. Here if you keep this in mind, and you will always ignore the subject. Only 3 questions you can't read the subject, you will always try to ignore the subject because number of the questions are very less. But if you consider the marks are very high. So you need to keep marks in your mind, not the number of questions, because we need marks in order to get the job, not the number of questions. Right, 3 questions and the 6 marks here, the 4 questions and the 8, and here also 3 questions and the 6 marks. So averagely, so 3 to 4 questions, 3 to 4 questions are there on the 13th August of the 2021. In the same way, 16th August, if you consider the 16th August, again the 4 questions and the 8 marks and the 2 questions, 4 marks and the 3 questions and the 6 marks are there. So averagely again same 3 questions or 4 questions, 6 to 8 marks averagely. Same, and again if you consider the 17th August, whatever the exam was conducted on the 17th August, and in the same way here also 2 questions and the 4 questions 8 marks and the 3 questions and the 6 marks. And also the 18th and the 3 questions and the 2 questions and the 3 questions. And again in the 28th, so the 3 questions and the 3 questions and the 3 questions. So averagely you can consider that 3 to 4 questions and averagely 6 to 8 marks are there for the out of the 25 questions. Out of the 25 questions, 3 to 4 questions are the geography, and whatever this each question carries the 2 marks, 50 marks. Out of the 50 marks, and the 6 to 8 marks are there from the geography subject, particularly in the SSC CGL examination. Okay, so already the experienced candidates will know. So the Tier 1 cutoff will be very high generally. So generally, in order to get the job also, the Tier 1 score is very much essential to get the job. So that's why we need, if you want to score the more in number in the Tier 1 examination, and then it is possible only because of the geography, and then followed by current affairs. Current affairs also having the huge weightage. Nowadays the current affairs almost 6 to 7 questions are directly from the current affairs. But after the current affairs, there is any weightage is there for the subject, that is the geography. 3 to 4 and the 6 to 8 marks are there. If you analyze these things, and it will be known from the these analysis. Okay, now, so these are the weightage analysis. Okay, it was fine. Weightage analysis fine. 3 to 4 questions, that will be okay. But what are the topics we need to read for the examination from the different areas of the geography? So if you consider the SSC syllabus, In SSC syllabus, we have the three different types of the syllabus. It is not like what APPSC, TSPSC. In case of the APPSC, TSPSC, we are having the what Indian geography as well as local geography. That is Telangana for Telangana geography, and AP people, we are having the what AP geography. That is different. But in case of the SSC CGL, it was completely different. We have our three-dimensional geography is there here. So one of the dimension is majorly here the physical geography. We need to cover the what all aspects of the physical geography. And here in case of the SSC CGL, and most of the questions are from the what physical geography only. And then followed by second priority area Indian geography, and third priority area is the what world geography. But in case of the world geography, we need to focus only on the facts. What are the important facts are there? Okay, I will explain those things also. What to be selected. Now, physical geography and the Indian geography, and next one is the world geography. Three important areas are there. Now, out of these three geographies, we need to give the what first priority to the physical geography. Physical geography. Then, so after completion of the physical geography, you need to focus on the what Indian geography. And later, if you are still having the what time, and then you can go for the what analysis of the what world geography factual data. Otherwise, there is no need, because so you are preparing for the what only for the what 25 questions, 50 marks. You are having the other subject aptitude, reasoning, English, that will have the more weightage. You will give the what more importance to those subjects. But in case of here, whenever you are completed the physical geography and as well as this Indian geography, then you need to give the preference for the what so world geography whenever you are having the more time for the preparation. If the time is not there, then leave the world geography, because it was very vague syllabus and it is very vast, and the number of questions 1 or 0. So that's why. So no need to focus on this one, but this will be focused only when you are having the what extra or additional time of the preparation. Okay, right. So that is the physical geography and the what Indian geography, and next one is the world geography. Now, what are the topics to be covered under the what physical geography when you are preparing for the SSC CGL examination? Because even physical geography, they are simply mere name indicates what to be read in the what mere name is not sufficient for the what examination. We need to select some of the topics from the what physical geography, especially for the what examination. What are the topics we need to read? Now let us see. Physical geography. In case of the physical geography, so that is a rock system. You need to give the what first preference for the rocks. In the SSC examination, there is a very popular question always from the what rock system. That is the so what are the different types of the rocks are there, how they are formed, what are the characteristics of the rock. Suppose what are the what igneous rocks, and what are the sedimentary rocks, and what are the metamorphic rocks, what is the process involved in the formation of the rocks, and examples for the what those type of the rocks. Suppose these type of the questions will be very popular and very common. Suppose like this type of the question they will granite is which type of the rock, whether it is igneous rock or metamorphic rock, sedimentary rock, or which type of the rock. Or sometimes these type of the questions is very common, that is shale. So shale is a which type of the rock, or otherwise which type of the rocks are formed due to the what volcanic eruption. And these are the what very popular questions and very common questions. So that's why in case of the physical geography, you need to give the what first chapter priority is the what so that is a rock system of the so world and how the rocks are formed. That is number 1. And number 2, internal structure of the earth. Internal structure of the earth. So that is layers. You know that earth is having the what crust, mantle, and the core. And this we read in our childhood education. Everything we know from the what childhood. But that is not sufficient for the what examination. So we need to carefully analyze the what internal structure of the earth. What is the composition of the crust? What is the mantle composition? What is the core composition? Which element is having the what highest percentage in the current? And which element is more abundantly in the what entire earth? And these type of the questions they are asking in the examination. And what is the discontinuity? What is the discontinuity between the crust and mantle and the core, and the outer core and inner core? What are the discontinuous names they are asking in the examination? And these type of the so important factual data we need to cover in the what internal structure of the earth. And along with the internal structure of the earth, and this is internal structure of the earth is also interlinked to the what this topic, that is a plate tectonics, how the continents are formed. That is also very important. How the continents are formed. What is the continental drift theory? Okay, so how the continents are formed and how the oceans are formed, what is continental drift theory, and all these type of the what information regarding the what continents and oceans will come under this plate tectonics. And this is also very one of the popular question in the what SSC examination. The plate tectonics is very popular. So you need to focus on the what this plate tectonics also. Okay, and after these are the what very importantly all the part of the what lithosphere. We can consider lithosphere, rocks, and internal structure of the earth and plate tectonics. In the internal structure of the earth only we need to focus on the this one also, earthquakes and the tsunamis and as well as volcanoes, and all these comes under what because of the what internal structure of the earth only. All these are from the what so due to the what endogenetic forces of the earth. So we need to cover all these earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanoes from the what this internal structure of the earth only in the topic. And the same way, so this plate tectonics, what is the continental rift theory? What is plate tectonic theory? Who proposed it? Why continents are moving? Why oceans are moving? What is the major reason behind it? And so all these type of what information will come under this plate tectonics. And this is also very popular question in SSC examination. Okay. Next one, hydrosphere. Here the hydrosphere, we need to focus on the what different types of the what oceans. So how the oceans are formed? What is the what salinity of the what oceans? And what is the temperature of the oceans, how it will be defined, and what are the what deposits are there in the oceans, what are the deposits are there in the oceans. And again we need to focus on the relief of the ocean, what is the continental shelf, okay, what is the continental shelf, what is the continental slope, what is the continental right, what is the abyssal plain, and what is the what exclusive economic zone, and how it will be calculated 200 nautical miles. So what is the territorial zone, what is the contiguous zone, and all this type of the information will be covered under this hydrosphere chapter. And the very popular question generally in the SSC examination is, so which of the following lake is having, or which of the following ocean is having highest salinity in the world? And these type of the questions are very popular and very common, frequently asked question most of the times. Okay, you need to focus on the what this chapter also, very importantly hydrosphere, very important. And then atmosphere. So already in the atmosphere, you know that 4 layers are there in the atmosphere. We know that troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, and we need to read all the layers in the what deep analysis. So what happens when the air density, when you are moving from the surface of the earth to top of the earth? Air density. Why the air density is decreasing? Okay. What happens to the temperature in the troposphere? What happens to temperature in the stratosphere? What happens to temperature in the mesosphere? What happens to temperature in the ionosphere? So all these type of the questions will be seen in the examination. So we need to analyze the what entire atmospheric layers in deeper way. And second, and in the same way, atmospheric circulation. What are the northeast trade winds? What are the southeast trade winds? What are the westerlies and what are the easterlies? And in the same way, we need to focus on the what local winds. What is the Mistral and what is the Bora? What is the Pampero? And all these type of the local winds are there. Harmattan, right? So Sirocco, all these are the local winds are there. We need to focus on all these type of the local winds also. All these type of the information will be covered under this atmospheric chapter. Okay, in the same way, here again you are having the word biosphere, whatever the biosphere is there. In case of the biosphere, so here you need to cover the word biosphere specially, that is so whatever the national parks are there in India particularly, you need to cover. So whatever the national parks are important wildlife sanctuaries, national parks important wildlife sanctuary as well as the biosphere reserves. National parks, wildlife sanctuaries and biosphere, whatever they are there, they are part of the biosphere only, you need to cover this one. And this is the what? So rocks and internal structure and plate tectonic, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. This is the what area very important. But if you are preparing for the what APPSC and TSPSC and some other examinations of the state public service commissions, and in case of the state public service commission, the syllabus is slightly different from the what SSC CGL. SSC CGL focus will be more on the physical geography. But if you observe the what State Public Service Commission examination, the focus will be more on Indian geography. But in case of the SSC CGL, the more focus will be on the what physical geography. The focus on the Indian geography is very less. But more focus, almost you can consider the what 70% of the questions are from the what physical geography area only. Okay, it is very slightly different from the what State Public Service Commission examinations. Okay, and this is the what you need to cover under the physical geography area. Okay, right. Next one. Indian geography. If you consider the what Indian geography, whatever the Indian geography is there. So in this Indian geography, that is the physical features of the India. First one, you need to consider the physical features of the India. So in case of the physical features of the India, we need to cover the what Himalayas and peninsular part of the India, Indo, Ganga, Brahmaputra plains, and whatever these coastal areas we are having in India, and what are the islands are there, and different structures of the islands, and all this will be considered here. Okay, so that is a very, very important. You need to cover this in physical geography. Okay. Right. Next one, river system of the India and the soils of the India. So compulsorily, we can say that take it for granted. Take it for granted questions. Take it for granted questions in this one. There are two are there. One is the river system of the India and second one is the soils of the India. And these are the take it for granted questions, especially in the SSC CGL. So river system of the India and the soils of the India. Every year, if you observe the question paper, and one question will be there from the what these areas. Most important, the river system of the India. River system of the India is very important. And again, you need to cover the what forest cover of the India very recently, whatever the report published by the what. So Forest Survey of India very recently in the 2021, and you need to cover the what is the forest cover is there in India, and also as well as the what agriculture and as well as what census 2011. So I am not dumping the what much syllabus for the here because you are reading only for the what 3 to 4 question, that is to 6 to 8 marks. So that's why we are focusing on the selected areas from where there is a possibility of the question. So that's why here the word possible chapters are enlisted here. So you need to focus on these possible chapters only, because you need to go, you are not preparing for the what some other civil services examination, right? We are preparing for the what only 3 to 4 marks. How to get the what that 3 to 4 questions and 6 to 8 marks. How to get that mark? That is our focus area major. So that's why if you want to get the what marks, and then you need to focus on these areas, and as well as here also agriculture sector of the India and also as census 2011, and these are the areas you need to focus more in case of the what Indian geography. Particularly these are the what take it for granted questions, river system and soils and the physical features of the India, and you will get the what one question always from the here. So and these are the so areas, 6 chapters you need to focus on the what Indian geography. And after that one, still you are very ambitious and still you are having the what much time, then you need to allocate your remaining time for the what so memorizing the factual data regarding the world. Still there is the what last step, last when you are having the what again the more time. If you are having the more time, then you need to allocate some amount of the time particularly to analyze the factual data, right? So what are the factual data? Different deserts of the world. Taklamakan Desert is located in the which country? Rubal Ali Kali Desert located in the which country? Like Marustali Desert located in the which country? Atacama Desert located in the which country? Patagonia Desert located in the which country? Okay, so like these type of the questions will be asked in the examination. So you need to memorize the word so deserts of the world, and as well as same way so grasslands of the world. So like in childhood we read that prairies and the downs, okay, and the steppes, and all these are the different so grasslands, wilderness, okay, pampas, and all these are the different types of the grasslands present in the different parts of the world. And you need to memorize about which grassland is located in the which country. So again that is also very important, particularly grasslands of the world. And again the boundary lines. What are the different boundary lines between the different countries? Like what is the boundary line between the India and China? Suppose India and China McMahon line we call, India and Pakistan we call Radcliffe line, right? In the same way, okay, right? What is the boundary line between the USA and Canada? What is the boundary line between the Germany and Poland? What is the boundary line between the North Korea and the South Korea? Okay, what is the boundary line between the North Korea and South? These type of the questions will be asked in the examination. So if you are having the time, and you then you need to go for the deserts of the world and the grasslands of the world and also the boundary lines of the world. Okay, this is what the last preparation. Last preparation means after completion of the this one physical geography, and after that one Indian geography. These areas you need to cover, and after that one you need to cover these areas. After last one, this one. But still, if you are very interested, if you want to get the what, and here the what the question is the possibility from the what world geography. That may be 0 question or 1 question. So we can expect or may not expect. That is not in our hand. But that is depends upon the what paper set, which paper set you got, and which shift you are writing the examination. In some of the sets they will get the 0 question from the world geography. In some of the examination they will give 1 question from the what world geography, this factual data. So that's why 0 or 1 question is there. That's why we need to give the what our priority, last priority for the this area. Okay, first priority. So this one. So again I am repeating. So who are preparing for the what SSC CGL? If you want to score the what more in the SSC CGL Tier 1 examination, the focus areas must be number 1 physical geography. 70% of the questions are from the physical geography, and then you need to give the importance for the Indian geography. When you are having the what more time, you need to give the importance for the what world geography factual data. And in case of the physical geography, you need to cover all these things. Okay, so these are the what areas you need to cover. In case of the what Indian geography, these are the areas you need to cover. And in case of the world geography, and these are the areas you need to cover in case of the world geography. Okay, so this is the what preparation strategy of the what. So this one, and if you observe, this was the what weightage analysis of the our examination of the what 2021. Yeah, okay then. So we will discuss some of the what important questions, whatever they are previously asked in the examination, or otherwise analysis of the what previous questions, some of the previous questions. Yeah, one thing you need to note on that, you need to fix whenever you are thinking about the what general studies in the SSC CGL examination, it is very burden for you because actually you need to concentrate more on the aptitude, reasoning, English, and it is very burden for you to read the general studies. That's why I am giving the what very selected topics. If you want to score more in the Tier 1 examinations, at least 165 to 170 of the score is required in order to get the job. Otherwise, if you are in the 130, 140, it is not possible to get the job in the SSC CGL. Okay, at least 160 plus is required in Tier 1 examination. So that's why if your score is that 160 plus, and then you are very nearer to get the what job. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get the job because 130, 140 that is required for the mere qualifying for the what tier 2 examination, but not for the what getting of the job. If you get the what 130, 140, you will qualify for the tier 2 examination, but that marks are not sufficient to get the job. So if you want to get the job, then 160 plus is required in the tier 1 examination. So that's why general studies also plays a what very pivotal role and important role in getting up the job. If you ignore this one, and then automatically your tier 1 score will be lowered, and automatically even if you qualify tier 1 and the tier 2, and it is impossible to get the job. So please be focused on this one. Okay, let us discuss about some of the previous questions, whatever the questions are asked in the SSC CGL examination. Right. Now let us see. According to the continental, all these are the previous questions, right? According to the continental drift theory, all the continents are formed into a single continent, continental mass. Then it is called. What is the name of the single continental mass? He is asking. Either it is Laurentia, or whether it is Pangaea, or whether it is Gondwana land, or whether it is Panthalassa. So this is what one of the question. I have told you in the syllabus introduction. So this was the part of the what plate tectonics only. It is a part of the plate tectonics only, right? Now, so this is what the continental drift theory. So whatever the continental drift theory is there, and this continental drift theory is proposed by the what Alfred Wegener. So now today we are in the 2022. But if you go back to the what 225 million years back, from the 2022 to if you go back to the what 225 million years back, right? So now we are in the 2022, go back to 225 million years back. If you go back to the 220 million years back, there is only one continent is there on the surface of the earth. Today we are having the 7 continents, but the 225 million years back, there is the only one continent is there, and that one continent name is the Pangaea. The one continent is Pangaea, that is the Greek term. So this means all earth. It is the Greek term. The meaning of the Pangaea is it is the all earth. The meaning of the word is it is the all earth. And here the word, so completely this continent is having the word only one ocean. So that one ocean is known as Panthalassa. One ocean is known as Panthalassa. This is known as what? Ocean. That is the super ocean. So 225 million years back, there is only one continent on the surface of there. That continent is known as Pangaea. And there is only one ocean on the surface of there. That is known as what? Panthalassa. Later, this Pangaea was broken into the 2 pieces, and in the same way, the oceans are formed. So whatever the broken space is there, when the continent is broken, whatever the space is created, the gap is created, in that gap, water is entered and the oceans are formed generally. So this is a Pangaea is the name of the what? Supercontinent, that is the Pangaea, and the Panthalassa is the what? Name of the what? Super ocean. So what is this is the continent name, and this is what? Ocean name. Okay. So sometimes question even here I am displaying the question regarding the what continental mass only. But if you observe again one other previous question, the same question is asked in the what is the what super ocean name? The super ocean name is the what Panthalassa, and the super continent name is the what Pangaea. Okay, then what are this Laurentia and the Gondwana land? So whatever this super continent is Pangaea is there, and this super continent is broken into the what two pieces. Right? So this one continent, that is the Pangaea, and the supercontinent is broken into the 2 pieces, and the northern piece and the southern piece. This is the north part. So this whatever this north part is there, and this north part is known as what? Laurentia, and whatever this southern part is there, and this south part is known as what? Gondwana land. Gondwana land. Whatever the super continent, that is Pangaea is there, the Pangaea is broken into the 2 parts. The Pangaea is broken into the 2 parts. Northern part is known as what? Laurentia, and southern part is known as what? Gondwana land. Okay, so sometimes even these all 4 questions are possible, right? I am displaying here only one question from the what previous questions, but here the 4 questions are there. Number 1, what is the superocean name? Panthalassa. What is the supercontinent name? Pangaea. If the Pangaea is broken, then what is the northern part name is Laurentia, and what is the southern part is name is Gondwana land. And this northern part is not only Laurentia, and this is also known as Angara land. Whatever the this is there, and this is not only Laurentia, and this is also known as Angara land. Okay, so it is also known as what? Angara land, Laurentia or otherwise Angara land, and then Pangaea and the Gondwana land, and next one is what? Panthalassa. Okay, the 4 bits are covered here. The question may be one question, but in the next, if you prepare for the what examination, so you need to focus on that one. So 4 bits are there here. Okay, northern part Laurentia, and Pangaea is the supercontinent. Gondwana is the after breaking into the 2 pieces, the southern part is known as Gondwana land, and again we are having Panthalassa is the what? Super ocean. Panthalassa is the super ocean. This was the what? One of the previous question. Okay, right. So what is the answer for this one? Pangaea. If the same question, I am removing this continental mass and removing it is what? Ocean. So then answer will be the what? So if the remove continent, then answer will be the what? Pangaea in case of the what? Panthalassa. Okay, right. So students are giving the answers. Okay, right. So 4 questions are covered here. And next, second question. The center of the anticyclone is characterized by, is asking the what? Not the cyclone. The center of the anticyclone is asking. Center of the anticyclone. Okay. What is the cyclone generally? First of all, we need to know the what is the cyclone. So cyclone means generally it is the word derived from Greek language. The word cyclone is derived from the Greek language cyclus. Okay, cyclus. So cyclus means here the word coiled snake. The meaning of the word here the word coiled snake. The meaning of the word here it is a coiled snake. Cyclus means what? Coiled snake. Okay, which means water also revolves just like a what? Coiled snake. Whatever the water is there, the water movement also looks like the what? Coiled snake. So this is the word coiled snake, and the water movement also looks like a what? Coiled snake. That's why. So the name derived from this Greek word. So cyclone from the word cyclus. Okay, no. So whether cyclone is a low pressure area, high pressure area, that is the point. We are not discussing the what entire chapter. I am discussing the what is explanation to this question. Okay, regarding this one, now suppose how the cyclone will be formed. So in order to form the cyclone, at least in particular area, whatever the area is there, in that area, so minimum 26 degrees Celsius of the temperature is required. If the any area, suppose if on the surface of the, or otherwise take the what? India. So here the Bay of Bengal is there. So if the cyclone is forming on the Bay of Bengal generally in the October or November months. So in the October and November month, if the cyclone is forming on the Bay of Bengal, then in which area it will be formed means the area which is having the what? Minimum of the 26 degrees Celsius of the temperature. Okay, in water body, the water body temperature must be minimum 26 degrees Celsius of the temperature is required, and that too up to depth of 60 meters. Up to the depth of the 60 meters, that is the 26 degrees Celsius of the temperature is required. Okay, that is the first condition for the formation of the what? Cyclones. Okay, now when so this 26 degrees Celsius of the temperature is there, then slowly, so whatever the air molecule and whatever the water molecules are there, and they will slowly heats up, and then temperature will be reduced, and then the pressure will be reduced, and they will slowly heats up, the temperature increases, and then these water molecules and along with the what? So these air molecules move upward with low pressure. Moves upwards with low pressure because the temperature is high because of the heating process, and that will be moved upward. And this area, so this area, wherever the area which experiencing the what? 26 degrees Celsius of the temperature, that area will possess the what? Low pressure area. That area will possess the low pressure area. Now this is the story of the what? Cyclone in shortcut. But what is the question they are asking? Anticyclone. So this is the center of the cyclone. This is the center of the cyclone. The center of the cyclone is always having the what? Low pressure area. Center of the cyclone is always having low pressure area. Now what is asking? What is the center of the anticyclone is characterized by? Is asking. Anticyclone means whatever the air molecules are moved upwards. Whatever the air molecules are moved upward, and the same air molecules again the what? Moves down. That is so descends or otherwise sinks. And then automatically all the molecules will be accumulated here, and again it will possess the what? High pressure. That is exactly opposite to the what? Cyclone. In the cyclone, due to the high temperature, they will move upwards. But in the anticyclone, the same molecules will move downward and reaches the surface of the earth. And here it is a low pressure, and the anticyclone means what? High pressure area. Okay. So this is the what very huge topic. It will take the what 2 hours of the time to explain this entire process. But now for the time being, to explain this question, I explained in the shortcut, but it will take about 1.5 hours to 2 hours to explain it. So here the answer for this one is what? High pressure area. High pressure area, center of the anticyclone. Cyclone means low pressure area and the anticyclone means high pressure area. What is asking center? Right. Next to this one, the Mistral is the cold wind which blows in the valley. Which valley? So they are asking the Mistral. So if you observe the what local winds of the world, so local winds means some of the winds will be formed in the what local conditions. Suppose if you go to the what Ooty, the Ooty will be the what very cool, or other sometimes in the winter season Ooty will be very cold conditions. Why? Because Ooty is located in at the height of the what 2,600 meters of the height. So when you move off, and then automatically the temperature will be lowered. When you are moving upwards and the temperature will be lower, that you know. So Ooty is located approximately at the 2,600 meters of the height, and the Ooty will be very cold conditions. Or otherwise, if you take all the hill stations, whatever the hill stations are there in India, if you consider all the hill stations will be very cooler or other cold conditions because they are located in the hills. When you move off, temperature will be gradually reduces. Okay, that was the point. Now here so whatever the winds are formed in the Ooty, they are cold winds. Why the why the winds are the cold in the Ooty? Because they are the local winds. Why they are calling the local winds? Because these are the local winds which are formed due to the what cold conditions in the what Ooty. So like that, whatever the winds are formed in the due to the what local conditions. Suppose if the desert is there, if you consider the what Africa, yeah, the entire area is the desert is there. Whatever the winds are forming in the Sahara desert, and these are the what very hot winds. We are calling them as very hot winds. Why? Because they are formed because of that local condition. What is the local condition here? Due to the existence of the what? Deserts. So whatever the winds are formed due to the what? Existence of the local conditions, and those type of the winds are known as what? Local winds generally. Okay. So the local winds are two types here. Whatever the local winds are there, the local winds are two types generally. So one is the hot winds because of the existence of the deserts like that. So another type of the winds are there, cold winds are there. So hot winds and the cold winds are there. And here the three types of the cold winds are there, very popular. One is the what? Pampero, and second one is the Bora. Okay, third one is the Mistral, and these are the what? So important cold winds, because these are formed due to the what? Local conditions. And now hot winds are there many. So in India we having the loose in India, and in the Africa we are having the what? Harmattan. So Harmattan in the Africa, and so in the Africa same we are having the what? Sirocco in the Africa, and same way in Australia we are having the what? Brickfield. Okay, in Australia we are having the what? Brickfield, and in the USA we are having the what? Chinook. Okay, so in the France we are having the what? Foyne, and all these are the different types of the what? Hot winds, and these are the Pampero, Bora, Mistral are the what? Local winds generally. Okay, right, these are hot winds, and cold winds are formed due to the what? Local conditions. Now the question is here, they are asking question about the what? Mistral, where the Mistral is formed. The Mistral is formed due to the what? Which of the following river? So whether it is formed due to the what? Olga river, or whether it is formed due to the what? Rhine river, or Rhone river, or the Seine river. That is the question is asking. Mistral is a type of the what? Cold wind. Mistral is a type of the cold wind. Now here the two rivers are there. Most of the students will confuse here the what? Rhine river versus what? Rhone river. Rhine and the Rhone river. This is a very popular question. Rhine versus Rhone. Now this is the Germany, and this is the what? France. Germany and the France. Here you are having the what? Switzerland. Germany, France and the Switzerland are there. Okay. Germany and the France and the Switzerland, and these are the three countries. Okay. Now here so whatever the river is there, Rhone river. So whatever the Rhone river is there, and this Rhone river, whatever the Rhone river is there, and these Rhone river flow from this Switzerland to the what? France, this area. This is the name of the what? River? Rhone river. So this is the Rhone river. Not the Rhine river, this is the what? Rhone river. And again from the here, so Alps mountains, so Germany and France and all this Switzerland, all these countries, and this is the another river. This river is known as what? Rhine river. So Rhone river and the Rhine river are there. Now the Mistral is forming whether in the Rhone river valley or Rhine river valley. This is the what? Confusion question for the most of the times and for the most of the students. Now here the what? So answer for this one is the what? C. So don't confuse here. So particularly Switzerland and France, in the Rhone river valley, the cold wind is formed. That cold wind name is what? Mistral. Whatever the cold wind is there, and this cold wind is formed, and this cold wind name is what? Mistral. Mistral. That is the answer for this question is the what? Rhone River, not the Rhine River. Volga is in the Russia and Rhine River is the Germany and the France, and both the rivers flow beside with both the rivers flow side by side. Okay, so Rhone River Valley and the Rhine River Valley and the Volga. So answer for this one is what? Rhone. In the same way that these questions are also possible. Where the Pampero in the, so in that one grasslands of the what? Peninsula and all this Pampero, and the Bora, and the next one is the Mistral. So Bora will be in the Italy, that is the Adriatic Sea. The Bora is the cold wind blows in the Adriatic Sea, and the Mistral is in the France, that is particular in the Rhone River Valley. Okay, so okay. Now all these topics are the not the very small topics. It will take the long time. But for the time being, we are discussing the question. That's why I am explaining to understand these questions. Because here you are not started the preparation. We are discussing the what type of the question they are asked in the examination. What should be the our standards of the preparation. So that purpose we are discussing the all these previous questions. Next one. So what is the rain that produces from the lifting of the moisture over the mountain? So clearly, so whatever the rainfall in the mountain regions, whatever the rainfall is there in the mountain regions, and this rainfall in the mountain regions is known as, they're asking. There are three types of the rainfalls are there. We know that one type of the rainfall is the orographic rainfall, and second is the cyclonic rainfall, and third one is the what? Convectional rainfall. They are given in the option. So cyclonic rainfall. Okay. Now, so tell me the answer. What is the answer for this question? Answer for this question. Answer for this question, some are saying convectional rainfall, cyclonic rainfall. Okay. Now, orographic rainfall and the cyclonic rainfall and the convectional rainfall. The convection is generally that is the vertical movement of the air molecules. The vertical movement of the air molecules is generally known as what? Convection process. So how the vertical movement will take place? The vertical movement is possible generally. So generally possible whenever there is a high temperature is there. Whenever there is a high temperature is there. So due to the high temperature, so whatever the air molecules are there, that air molecule will absorb the huge amount of the heat energy. Then the air molecules will heats up and then move upwards. So that is the vertical movement. So what is the vertical movement of the air molecules is known as what? Convection process. That is the horizontal movement of the air molecules is known as what? Winds. That is the vertical movement is known as what? Convection process. Whatever the vertical movement is there, so that vertical movement is known as what? Convection. And this is possible only high temperature regions, that is particularly equator region majorly. So that is the equator region. It is possible generally in the equator region. In India it is possible only in the May month, that is in the summer season, that is particularly in the May month. It is possible in the what? May month. Okay, right. Now here the what? High temperature, that is a convection process. If the, so rainfall is due to the what? Vertical movement of the air molecule, then it is called what? Convectional rainfall. This is possible near the what? Equator. The vertical movement of the air molecules is known as what? Convection. Next, cyclonic rainfall. Just now I explained to you. If the rainfall is due to the what? Cyclone formation, then it is called cyclonic rainfall. Now, what is he asking? What is the mountainous regions? Here the what word is the what? Oro is there. Oro word. Oro means here the mountain in the Greek language. Whatever the oro is there, the word. So the word oro means what? Mountain. Oro means mountain in the Greek language. So that is the orographic, means whatever the rainfall is there in the mountain regions, and that is called what? Orographic rainfall. The rainfall in the mountain regions is known as what? Orographic rainfall. Okay. Now where it is possible in India? So these type of the orographic rainfall possible in India, here the what? Western Ghats, particularly in the Western Ghats of the India. In Western Ghats of the India, this orographic rainfall is possible. So because this is entirely, so here that, so whatever the winds are there, the winds will blow here, and here they will get the what? Rainfall, that is the orographic rainfall, particularly in the Western Ghats of the India. Not only in the Western Ghats of the India, anywhere if you are having the what? Mountains, the type of the rainfall, it is known as what? Orographic rainfall, simply. Okay, that is simply by analyzing the this only one word, we can give the answer, it is what? Orographic rainfall. Which of the following volcano is known as what? Lighthouse of the what? Mediterranean Sea. Lighthouse. Lighthouse, why it is called lighthouse of the what? Mediterranean Sea? So it was Mediterranean Sea is there. and due to the near the Mediterranean Sea, due to the continuous eruption. So due to the continuous eruption, so what is a volcano means? Generally that continuous eruption will give the fire only. So that is a magma. Whatever the continuous eruption of the magma is there, the magma is always having the burning sensation. The magma will flows out because of the huge amount of the fire. And whatever the fire is there, and this fire which is coming out through the eruption of the volcanic eruption, and this fire, whatever the fire is there, and this fire is acting like a light. This fire is acting light in the region of the this Mediterranean Sea. Whatever this Mediterranean Sea is there, in the region of this entire Mediterranean Sea, and whatever this fire emitted by this volcano is acting like a light. So that's why it is known as lighthouse. The question is asking which mountain is called this lighthouse. Which mountain is called lighthouse? Okay. Now, anyone answer? So, some are saying C, B, A, C. Right. Mount Vesuvius and the Mount Pile and the Mount Stromboli and Mount Fuji, all these are there. First of all, location, understand the location. So Mount Vesuvius, this Mount Vesuvius in the Italy. Okay. Next Mount Pile, almost it is nearer to the Caribbean islands. So like the Caribbean islands. And the Mount Stromboli which is in the Sicily, Mount Stromboli, and Mount Fuji in the Japan. Mount Fuji in Japan. Okay. These are the different locations of this, right? So this one, whatever this option 3, Mount Stromboli. So this Mount Stromboli, so it is eruption is near the completely, it is continuously erupting in the regions of this Mediterranean Sea. Due to the continuous eruption, it is erupting the fire. The fire is acting like a lighthouse in the surroundings or in the vicinity of this Mediterranean Sea. So that's why this Mount Stromboli nickname is lighthouse of the Mediterranean Sea. This was almost 15 times repeated question in the SSC previous questions. Mount Stromboli, very, very important. Mount Stromboli, that was so very important question, Mount Stromboli. Okay. So again, this question may be repeated. Mount Vesuvius, Mount Pilo, Mount Fuji, Japan, and Mount Stromboli, Sicily, and Mount Pile, Caribbean islands. And next, Mount Vesuvius is there in the Italy. So the nickname of the Mount Stromboli is the lighthouse of the Mediterranean Sea. Among the following the water bodies, which is having the highest salinity? Highest salinity means salt content. How it will be calculated salt content of the ocean? That is the amount of the salt dissolved. So whatever the amount of the salt is. So the amount of the salt dissolved in 1000 grams of the ocean water. It will be calculated as per the amount of the salt dissolved in the 1000 grams of the ocean water. Okay. Suppose take a bucket. In that bucket, you can take the 1000 grams of the water. Take a bucket. In that bucket, you can take the 1000 grams of the water. Okay, 1000 grams of the water. So in these 1000 grams of the water, you can heat this water. Whatever the water is there, you can heat this water. Okay. If you heat this water and finally, so after the evaporation process, at the end or otherwise at the bottom, you will get the some amount as a salt. That is solid content you will get, and this is the solid. And after the evaporation of the entire water, and the salt will be formed at the bottom of the whatever the bucket we took. So here, after the heating process. Now the question is that how many grams of the salt left here? We took the 100 grams of the ocean water, and we are started the heating process. After the heating process, some amount of the salt will be left after entire evaporation of the water. After evaporation of the water, and that is what is the salt left here? What is the amount of the salt left is here? That is very important. So suppose here the 30 grams of the, suppose assume that 30 to 35 grams of the salt left here. Assume that. Then you can call that the salinity of this water is 35 grams. Salinity of this water is 35 grams. You will write this like in this form. 35 ppt, parts per 1000. Because we took the 1000 part. So in 1000 parts, how many parts of the salt is there? 35 parts of the salt is there. That ppt, parts per 1000. Parts per 1000. So like this, so the salinity will be calculated for the 1000 grams of the water. Okay, so that is generally parts per 1000. Now average salinity of all the oceans, if you consider the average salinity of any ocean, whether it is Red Sea, whether it is Pacific Ocean, whether it is Atlantic Ocean, or whether it is Indian Ocean, whatever it may be, you could take. So the average salinity of the ocean is the 35 parts per 1000, which means randomly, if you go to the randomly to Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean, any ocean, randomly pick up 1000 grams of the water. If you pick up the 1000 grams of the water from the any ocean, then averagely you will get the 35 parts per thousand of the salt. That is averagely you are going to get the what 35 grams of the salt from the any water. And most of this saltiness is due to the what chloride ion. Okay, not the what sodium ion. Then most of the what this saltiness of the what salt water is due to the what chloride ion. Okay. Now leaving that one, the question is here asking. So on the surface of the earth, where we are having the what highest salinity, that is the question. Where we are having the highest salinity, that was the question he is asking. Right. Dead Sea and the Red Sea and the Lake Van and the Great Salt Lake. Great Salt Lakes are there in the USA. These great salt lakes are there in the USA. Lake Van. So whatever the Lake Van is there, and this Lake Van is located in the Turkey region, and the Dead Sea is located in the what? Israel. Okay. So this Red Sea is between the what? Red Sea is located in Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the Iraq. So all these are the sharing border with the what? Red Sea. Dead Sea is in the Israel, and the Lake Van is in the Turkey. Great Salt Lake in the USA. Now, if you consider this one, if you go to the what Lake Van of the Turkey. If you go to the Lake Van of the Turkey and pick the water, from the Lake Van, and you are getting the what 330 grams of the salt here. You are getting 330 grams of the salt from this one. If you take the what 1000 grams of the water from the what Lake Van, and you are going to get the what 330 grams of the water, 330 grams of the salt from the what Lake Van. 330 grams, that is a huge amount. And if you go to the Dead Sea and you pick the water, and you are getting the what 250 grams of the salt out of the what 1000 grams of the water. That's why it is called Dead Sea. Why it is Dead Sea? No organism can sustain the life in these 250 grams of the salt content out of the 1000 grams. High salinity is there, 250 grams. That is 250 parts per thousand. And here the 330 parts per thousand. Here. And these are having the what very less. But the answer for this one is the what Lake Van. If the Lake Van is not there in the options, and you need to pick up the what Dead Sea. The top one, so that is the first one is the 330 ppt, so that is the 330 parts per thousand, that is the highest salinity in the world. You will found in the Lake Van, and after that one you will find about 250 parts per thousand, and you will found this in the Dead Sea. Dead Sea. These are the top two places where you can find the what highest salinity in the world, and the average salinity of the what oceans is the what 35 parts per thousand. And the highest is the Lake Van, and second highest is the what Dead Sea of the Israel, and first one is the Lake Van of the Turkey is the what highest what salinity. Okay, so right, someone is said that it was Prasad. Prasad is said the right answer. Chandrasekhar said that it's Salt Lake. No, not the Salt Lake. It is a Lake Van only. Okay, right. Right, next one. The territorial water limits. What are the territorial water limits they are asking? What is the territorial water limits? 200 nautical miles or 12 nautical miles or 350 kilometers? What is asking? Now, first of all, we need to know that the continental shelf area. Okay, so for every country, now this is the what our country border, India border, land border, right? So this is the India's land border, and you are having the what Bay of Bengal, right? The question is that from this boundary of the Bay of Bengal or this boundary of the India land boundary, from the boundary of the India's land, up to what distance you can claim that area will be belongs to India? Up to 100 kilometers, or up to 200 kilometers, or up to 300 kilometers, or up to 400 kilometers, up to 500, up to where? Where it will end? The territory of the India, that particular maritime border. So that is a point here. So up to here it is the India's area, up to here it is the India area, or up to here it is the India area, up to here it is the India. What is the point of the boundary? The point of the boundary is decided by the what? United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas, UN class. United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas, UN class. The UN class is the what? One of the agreement, and which decided the what? So particular boundary, maritime boundary for the what? All the countries. So what is the, according to the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, according to this one, so every country will have the what? So border up to the what? 200 nautical miles. That India's border up to, so from the India's land border to, so to what extent it can claim? It can claim the what? Whatever the resources are there in the oceans up to 200 nautical miles. Not only for the India, for the all the countries. So not only for India, for all the countries. If you take the word USA, now this is the word USA. Suppose this is the word Canada, and this is the USA, and this is what Mexico, and this is the USA, and this is the Canada. And here it is Pacific Ocean is there. Now here the America can also claim up to the what resources, whatever the resources available, that is the America area up to 200 nautical miles. Here the Canada is there, and Canada can claim up to the what 200 nautical miles. If the Mexico is there, Mexico can claim up to 200 nautical miles. That was the agreement according to the UN class. India can claim up to 200 nautical miles. But and these 200 nautical miles of the zone is known as, generally it will be called as EEZ. It is called as what? EEZ. EEZ stands for Exclusive Economic Zone. Exclusive Economic Zone. EEZ stands for Exclusive Economic Zone. EEZ. So every country have the what? Exclusive Economic Zone up to 200 nautical miles, which means whatever the resources are available, and that all the resources belong to that country only from its own land border from here. So India can claim from India's land border up to 200 nautical miles of the distance from its land border. That we call what? Exclusive Economic Zone. Means that area is exclusively reserved for that country only. Okay, that is the exclusively economic zone. Now, what is the question he is asking? He is not asking the what exclusive economic zone. He is asking the what territorial water. He is asking the what territorial water. So, what is the territorial water limit? That question is asking. Now, what is meant by territorial water limit? Now, let us discuss. Now, just now I informed you that is from its our border we can use up to any country from its own border they can claim up to only up to 200 nautical miles. This is what first point. Okay, up to 200 nautical miles. This 200 nautical miles we said it is what exclusive economic zone according to the what United Nations Convention on the Law of Seas. Okay, exclusive economic zone. Okay, now exclusive economic zone. Now this exclusive economic zone is divided into the three regions. The first 12 nautical miles, whatever the first 12 nautical miles are there, this is the first 12 nautical miles are there. This first 12 nautical miles is known as what? Territorial water. First 12 nautical miles are known as what? Territorial water. And next 12 nautical miles, up to the, 12 plus 12. 12 and then again the next second 12 nautical miles, whatever the second 12 nautical miles are there, and this is known as what? Contiguous zone. Okay, this is known as what? Contiguous zone, that is the next 12 nautical miles. 12 plus 12, how much? 24 gone. And remaining is how much? 176. 176 is there totally. So from here to here, this is totally what? Exclusive economic zone is totally 200 nautical miles. 12 plus 176. Entirely together we call our exclusive economic zone, we call EEZ, exclusive economic zone. Now in this one, 12 nautical miles is called territorial water, and next 12 nautical miles is called contiguous zone, and remaining 176 is simply we call exclusive economic zone, and entire 200 nautical miles also called as what? Exclusive economic zone only. 12 plus 176, total 200. Now why these are divided like this? In the territorial waters or the defense forces will move. No one can enter into the territorial water. That is what particular national security. So if any country is entering into these 12 nautical miles from India's boundary, then India have all the rights to shoot them. So, and then this next contiguous zones. In the contiguous zones, what they will do? In the contiguous zones, whatever we are importing from the other countries, we will check all the customs details, from which country you are coming, which goods you are importing to India, what are the documents are available, whether you are paid the custom duty or not. All this will be checked in the this contiguous zone. And after checking, then they will allow you into the territorial water. Okay, we know that Mumbai terror attack 26/11 because they directly entered into the territorial waters. They attacked on India. So that's why the territorial water is particularly to preserve the national security. Or defense forces will, Indian Coast Guard forces will move in these 12 nautical miles of the territorial water. So here the question they are asking so what is the territorial water limit? Territorial water limit is the 12 nautical miles. What is this 200 nautical miles is the exclusive economic zones. If they are asking what is the contiguous zones limit, contiguous zones limit is also 12 nautical miles only. Okay, right. Now asteroid belt, where you are finding the asteroid, the direct straightforward and memory based question. So you are having the asteroid belt. That asteroid belt is present between the Mars and Jupiter. So the Mars planet and the Jupiter planet, in between the Mars and Jupiter, and then some asteroids are moving in between the Mars and Jupiter. That is the very straightforward question. Okay, there is no much explanation is required. Next, which planet is having the no satellite? That is satellites means subplanets are satellite. So you need to remember this is also memory based question. So all the planets are having the satellites. Like Earth is having the moon is the satellite. Okay, so every satellite, every planet is having the satellite except two, Mercury and the Venus. Mercury and the Venus are having no natural satellite. There is no satellites for the Mercury and the Venus planets. And remaining all the planets are having the satellites for them. So the direct question. So except you need to remember this one. Another. So is the what one is the what Mercury, and second planet is the what Venus. And these are the two planets which are not having the what any natural satellite. There is no natural satellites. So all other planets are having the what satellites. So this question may come in other formats also. I can remove this Venus and sometimes I can put this option as what Mercury also. So which of the planet is having the what? No satellites, the question they are asking. So whether all are having, and then so answer is what? Venus, or otherwise sometimes even if you change the option, then it will answer will be the what? Mercury will be the what? Answer if you change the, so answer for this one. Okay, which of the following states have the what maximum area of the what mangrove forest cover? So they are asking the what mangrove forest, that is the mangroves are the specialized plants. So in India we are having the what most of the, not only in India, so this is the world largest, so mangrove cover is there in the what Sundarban forest area only. This whatever the this Sundarban area is there, and this Sundarban area in the West Bengal, so this is Sundarban area, so that is the world's largest mangrove cover is there here. World's largest mangrove cover is in the Sundarban, West Bengal. In India, approximately we are having only just 0.15% of the geographical area in India covered with mangrove forest area, and that too approximately 5,000 square kilometers. 5,000 square kilometers of the area in total geographical area of the India, only 5,000 square kilometers of the area in India covered with what mangrove forest cover. In these 5,000 square kilometers of the mangrove forest area in India, totally almost 42%. So 42% of the mangrove cover is there only in the what West Bengal, then followed by the Gujarat, 23% approximately. But 42% of the mangrove cover, 42% means approximately 2,000. Out of the 5,000. So almost 2,200 square kilometers of the mangrove cover is there only in the what West Bengal region, and then followed by the Gujarat, and then followed by Andaman Nicobar Islands, then followed by Andhra Pradesh, like that. Now West Bengal is the answer for this one. Then this Gujarat is standing the second place, that is having the what highest mangrove cover in India. And this is also right memory based question. Only the physical geography questions, whatever the physical geography questions are there, and those physical geography questions are conceptual questions. And granite is a which type of the rocks they are asking. And again this was also memory based question. Granite is a which type of the rocks? So granite is formed because of the what volcanic eruption. So whatever the internal surface of the earth is there, and due to the what eruption of the magma, due to the what eruption of the magma, after the some hours of the time the magma, whatever the magma is there, the magma is cooled, and this cooled magma will become the what rocks. Whatever the cooled magma is there, and these cooled magma become the rocks. And so whatever the rocks are formed due to the what volcanic eruption, whatever the rocks are formed due to the what volcanic eruption, and those type of the rocks are known as what igneous rocks. Those type of the rocks are known as what? So igneous rocks, the right. So they're asking the what type of the rocks. So there are many rocks are there like basalt, granite, pegmatite, peridotite, pumice, obsidian, andesite, granite. So all these are the rocks, different types of the rocks: basalt, granite, pegmatite, peridotite, pumice, obsidian, andesite. All these are formed due to the what volcanic eruption. So these are all are formed due to the what volcanic eruption. Whatever the rocks are formed due to the volcanic eruption, those rocks are known as what igneous rocks, or otherwise called what volcanic rocks. So granite is also formed due to the what volcanic eruption. The answer for this question is so that igneous rocks. Granite is an example of the igneous rock. Which of the following is what they are asking? The sedimentary rocks. Which of the following is a sedimentary rock? Asking. What is the sedimentary rocks? When whatever the igneous rock, suppose this is the what igneous rock is there. So that is the igneous rock is there. Okay, this is the what igneous rock. And when these igneous rocks is subjected to the what erosion, so rainfall is there, suddenly huge amount of the rainfall is there, and due to the what, suppose assume that due to the rainfall, when these igneous rock is subjected to the what erosional process, subjected to the what erosional process, when the erosional process, and automatically whatever the these upper layers are there, then the upper layers will slowly erode, and then leads to the what finally what the small that pieces, broken pieces will be formed here, the erosion process. And whatever these broken pieces are known as what sediments. Generally we call withering, we can call also it is what withering process. So from the igneous layer, what are these sediments are formed, and these sediments will be carried by the to some other places by the maybe due to the because of the winds, or maybe due to the because of the maybe water also. So the water maybe carries these sediments to the some other places, and winds maybe also carries the what these sediments to some other places. Okay. Now whether water or the winds, whatever the water or winds carried to the what some other places, and these sediments will be deposited here. And these sediments will be deposited in some other places, and sediment, and then finally after the some million years, all these sediments will bind together very strongly, and they become the what rocks, and these type of the rocks are particularly known as what sedimentary rocks. Why we are calling they are the sedimentary rocks? Because they are formed due to the deposition of the sediments. So that's why we are calling them as what sedimentary rocks. Okay, so sedimentary rocks. Now what are the different types of the what sedimentary rocks example, like in this process, like sandstone is the what best example of the sedimentary rocks, and the shale is the best example of the what sedimentary rocks. Okay, and the this one limestone is the what best example of the what sedimentary rocks. Okay, limestone is the best example of the sedimentary rocks, and the petrol is the best example of the sedimentary rock, and the diesel is the what best example of the sedimentary rock. Natural gas is the best example of the what sedimentary rocks, and all these are the what examples of the sedimentary rocks only. Now he is asking the question, which of the following is a sedimentary rock? So granite just now we have discussed, it was the what igneous rocks, and whatever the slate is there. Okay, whatever the slate and marble, these are the so metamorphic rock, third type of the rock. Slate and the what marble are the what metamorphic rocks, and granite is a igneous rocks. Then the shale is a only the what, so that is a formed due to the what deposition of the sediments. And these are all the memory based questions. You need to remember the what examples very clearly. And which of the following Indian state does not share boundary with the Myanmar? So they are asking so which of the following states are not sharing the what boundary with the Myanmar? And you know well, and this is the what India, and you are having here the what Arunachal Pradesh, okay, Nagaland, and the Manipur, and all these are there, Assam, okay, this is the what Assam, and the Tripura, and all these are there. The question they are asking, which of the following is not sharing boundary with the Arunachal Pradesh? Clearly here the options, if you go for the options, here the what Arunachal, this is the what completely Myanmar only, and here it is the Arunachal Pradesh sharing border, and it is the Nagaland is sharing the border, so it is the this one Manipur is sharing the border, and the Mizoram is sharing the border. So here the what Assam is the interiors, here the what Assam is there complete, it is the interiors, so this is the Assam is having the what no boundary with the this Myanmar. Answer for this question is the Assam. Duncan Pass, which is the Duncan Passage is there. So Duncan Passage they are asking. So you know that Andaman Nicobar Island, this is the North Andaman, and the Middle Andaman, and the South Andaman, and the Little Andaman. Okay, this is the North Andaman and the Middle Andaman, and next one is the South Andaman, and next one is the Little Andaman, and the Car Nicobar, and all these Great Nicobar Islands are there. So all these are the Great Nicobar Islands are there here. Okay, now whether he is asking about Duncan Passage, where is the Duncan Passage? So the gap between this almost to 45 kilometers of the gap. The 45 kilometers of the gap between the South Andaman and the Little Andaman. So this is known as what Duncan Passage. This is known as what Duncan Passage. And this Andaman and Nicobar separated by the what 10-degree channel. So Andaman and the Nicobar Islands are separated by the 10-degree channel, and whatever the gap is there between the South and the Little Andaman, this 45 kilometers of the gap, and this is popularly known as what Duncan Passage. It is known as Duncan Passage. What is the question is asking? The Duncan Passage is located between the which of the following? North Andaman or this one, or South Andaman, Central Andaman, or the South Andaman, Little Andaman, or the Car Nicobar or Little Nicobar. Car Nicobar, Little Nicobar. The question is, right, answer you know well. Answer is here the word C, that is the South Andaman and the Little Andaman. So South Andaman, Little Andaman is the Duncan Passage is located between the South Andaman and the Little Andaman. Now the same question, if I am changing this one, 10-degree channel. Suppose assume that this is the 10-degree channel. The 10-degree channel is the Little Andaman, and this one is what Car Nicobar. Little Andaman, Car Nicobar. Okay, Duncan Passage is in between the what? South Andaman and the Little Andaman. South Andaman and the Little Andaman. 8 South Andaman and the Little Andaman. Okay. Now the last question we will discuss, that is the Paul Ghat. So what are the Paul Ghat is joining the which of the following state it is asking. If you check the word Western Ghats, in the Western Ghats we are having the word 3 important Ghats are there. What is meant by Ghat? Ghats are generally hill areas. So where we will construct the word generally natural roads. Generally we will construct the word natural roads. So there are 3 Ghats are there. So one is the what? So the natural road, 3 Ghats are there in the Western Ghats. One is the Bor Ghat, and second one is the Tall Ghat, and next one is the Pal Ghat. And the 3 Ghat sections are there. So, and 3 Ghats are there. So, suppose if you are visiting the what any area, generally you will find that the what boards near the both the sides of the road. This is the Ghat section road, and this is the hill section road. Go slow. These type of the boards will be visible in that areas, hill areas. That is the what Ghat section road means, hill areas particularly. So, whatever the natural roads are there in the hill areas, generally they are termed as what Ghats. Now the Bore Ghat. So here the what Bore Ghat is connecting from the, so that is our Bore Ghat is the road connecting from the what Mumbai to Pune. And here the Tal Ghat is connecting from the what Mumbai to Nasik. Mumbai to Nasik. Now the Pal Ghat, here the Pal Ghat means Palakkad district of the Kerala. It is simply known as what? Palakkad district of the Kerala. Okay, Palakkad district of the. So this Pal Ghat is connecting from the, so this Kerala to and the Tamil Nadu. Right. Now if you observe this India map here, this is the what? The territory of the Tamil Nadu. Here the Tamil Nadu you are having the what? So Nilagiri hills are there here. Tamil Nadu you are having the Nilagiri hills, and in the same way in the Kerala, so here we are having the what? Annamalai hills. Here the Annamalai hills. So here the what? Annamalai hills, and here you are having the what? Nilagiri hills are there. Annamalai hills and the Nilagiri hills are there. Annamalai hills and the Nilagiri hills are there. So whatever the bridge like the natural bridge is there, the connection between these Annamalai hills to Nilagiri hills, whatever this connection between these Annamalai hills to Nilagiri hills is there, and that only we are calling it as a Pal Ghat. So that is a Pal Ghat. So that is the connection between the Annamalai hills to Nilagiri hills, that is called under Pal Ghat. Now here the what Annamalai hills are located in the where? Kerala, and also Nilagiri hills are located in the where? Tamil Nadu. So Nilagiri hills are located in the Tamil Nadu. So that is the connection link between the Kerala to Tamil Nadu, or otherwise Annamalai hills or Nilagiri hills are known as what? Pal Ghat. So sometimes the question may be asked in this way. Instead of the states, they will give me in a different format of the question. Now the answer for this question is the Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Right. Now the question will be, I am removing this option. Sometimes the option will be possible in different way. How option will be possible? So Annamalai and the Nilagiri. The Pal Ghat is connecting the which of the following hills? Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, Nilagiri hills, Eastern Ghats, Annamalai hills and the Nilagiri hills, and this type of the question is possible. Here the question is in the form of the what states. The options are given in the form of the what state. Sometimes the option may be formed in the form of the what hill regions also. I can put the options here the what Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. Here the Nilagiri hills and the Western Ghats, and the Nilagiri hills and the Annamalai hills, like that. The options will be possible. Cardamom hills and the Nilagiri hills. Okay, these type of the options will be possible. So Tamil Nadu, Kerala state wise, and if you hill wise, then the answer will be the what? Annamalai hills and the Nilagiri hills. Annamalai hills and the Nilagiri hills. That is the answer for this question, Pal Ghat. Okay, thank you everyone. So we'll meet soon in the next session.